A well-liked character from Pawn, Chumlee. Recently, the globe was shocked by stars when he fell in court when he heard his sentence. This startling incident not just caused a stir among Pawn Stars fans basis, but also raised interest in the difficulties that each individual faces. Chumlee has encountered today. We examine. Take a look at the intense courtroom scene. Also consider the ways Chumlee's life has changed from his Pawn Stars days. We'll delve into the events in this video that resulted in this startling event, investigating the reasons behind Chumlee's sentencing and the notable shifts in his life. Keep checking back over the years. You won't want to overlook the captivating tales and mysteries, the particular difficulties he's faced. As you travel, get ready to be astounded by. Remember what we're going to discover. Must subscribe, like, and share in order to stay informed about the upcoming video of the adored Austin Chumlee Russell. Pawn Stars star has solidified his position in TV viewers' hearts. He is well known for his easygoing humor, worldwide character and unique personality. Chumlee won over millions of hearts of viewers globally for more than 10 years. However, following his ascent to stardom, his life took a sharp shift as he was confronted with significant legal obstacles, creating a completely new and surprising phase in his life. During his Pawn Stars tenure, Chumlee was renowned for more than only his funny one-liners and humorous circumstances, but also for establishing a repute as an astute collector. His most notable moment was when he made the brave choice to purchase a professional, a move by the pinball machine that left both the group and supporters in wonder. Beneath the Chumlee, the playful clown persona, gently shown his experience and knowledge in the realm of collectibles, obtaining the regard from his peers as well as the viewers. The fame of Chumlee goes beyond television, as he has effectively entered company that sells apparel and candies, brand and live discussion programs such as. His efforts have brought him millions of dollars, with a large amount of the earnings assisting him in navigating the unforeseen legal difficulties he faced in spite of his remarkable commercial success. Chumlee, however, was not exempt from individual challenges that would eventually influence his path. As Pawn Stars rose to international prominence, a new stage of Chumlee's career began. Despite his fame and fortune, he fought an internal conflict that remained mostly unknown to the general public. You believe you're unbeatable when you're famous. But really, all I wanted to do was locate tranquility in life, Chumlee acknowledged. Personal difficulties, increasing stress, and unexpected legal complications compelled him to face a fact that nobody, not even Chumlee himself, had the potential to. As expected, Chumlee lately had to deal with his lowest point in life. When he entered the courtroom, the mood became anxious as the magistrate was ready to render the ultimate decision. After hearing Chumlee made the announcement, bewildered and unable to comprehend the truth, I fell into a profound moment of. The scene put everyone in a state of introspection. The air in the courtroom was stunned and silent, filled with incredulity at this spectacular meeting between a well-liked celebrity and the legal system with previously provided details. Uncertainty will keep you on edge where you sit. Despite all of the obstacles, Chumlee has kept gaining affection. The encouragement of his followers, his sincere nature and distinct personality have established a long-lasting relationship with the viewers, even though he no longer shows up on screen as frequently. Chumlee continues to be an vital component of Pawn Stars, and his voyage will never be forgotten as a strong example of pursuing passions, conquering challenges, and navigating the hardest times in life. Austin Russell was born in Chumlee and became well known because of his approachable humor. Character on Pawn Stars as the program reached unprecedented heights, and Chumlee turned into a well-known figure. His life took a tremendous shift from his modest origins. As an employee of a pawn business, he changed. Enter a lavish lifestyle by purchasing pricey sports vehicles and a magnificent home, with an impressive assortment of sneakers and jewelry that amazed a lot of people. Lavish shopping expeditions and lively parties that are extensively shared on social media gathered millions of views in no time, emphasizing the sharp difference between his humble beginnings and his glitzy public image. Chumlee became well known not just for his amusing Pawn Stars moments, but also for the remarkable expansion of. He established a Chumlee store for his personal brand, opened a confectionery in Las Vegas, and behind-the-scenes items that enthusiasts enthusiastically welcomed. But fame comes with increasing pressure, which Chumlee discovered difficult to balance his public persona. Regarding his private life, he openly shared, "Being famous makes you feel like you're unbeatable, but in truth, all I want to do is lead a typical life." Chumlee passed away in March 2016. A sharp change when authorities searched his house in Las Vegas is a component of an inquiry connected to sexual assault accusations. But what really startled the general public wasn't only the examination, but what was discovered. Items like weapons were found during the search. With illicit drugs, this disclosure swiftly gained popularity as a topic on social networking, is making many people reevaluate how they view the once-loved television star. Even though Chumlee usually seemed happy and carefree in his real life, on Pawn Stars created an entirely distinct image. Social internet went crazy after a fan. "Chumlee is always happy on TV," someone commented. However, in reality, he's a complete, distinct individual. This stark difference between Chumlee's appearance in public and his private difficulties left the public startled, raising inquiries regarding the future of the Pawn and the Star. Stars appear. After the search that the prosecutors filed, Chumlee is charged with several felonies, such as owning firearms and crimes involving drugs that could harsh penalties if found guilty. Chumlee faced a maximum sentence of 20 years in jail. These charges presented a legal shock. Serious danger to Chumlee's reputation had been meticulously raised throughout the years. Shockwaves were blasted through the fan base, making many people wonder if the TV personality could get past this enormous obstacle and reconstruct his life. Chumlee's experiences have not only sparked inquiries over his future, but also regarding Pawn's future. Stars, this incident turned into a startling tale of a TV personality dealing with serious obstacles on a personal and legal level. Chumlee continues to be a cherished figure on screen. The ambiguity surrounding the capacity to get past these challenges and his career is still open. Question: the Russell, Austin Chumlee, the cherished Pawn Stars star, discovered himself confronting one of his lowest periods. His career and life were both very threatened, well known for his humorous outbursts. Chumlee is now fighting on television. Grave accusations that might totally alter the public's perception of him. Spent years. The problems with creating Chumlee started in when cops conducted a raid on his Las Vegas residence as a component of an inquiry into claims of sexual assault, but the people wasn't really stunned by the character of the preliminary inquiry, but what was found during the investigation, including firearms, narcotics, and associated items. These discoveries soon become a popular subject on social media that is causing many to wonder about the extreme disparity between the public perception of Chumlee and the truth about his personal life. Chumlee's tale emphasizes the risks given the temptations that drugs may present, resulting with unanticipated outcomes. Particularly for public personalities. What are? Tell us what you think of his adventure in the remarks. If you have an alternative viewpoint, don't hesitate to share it with. We're interested in hearing about another story. Just leave a comment and inform us. Chumlee's image changed, shocking ripples across the general population, not only due to the legal accusations, but moreover because of the sharp disparity between the viewers knew the endearing, engaging character on Pawn Stars and his actual identity. The public was compelled to face an unquestionably, Lee wasn't always a friend. The personable and amiable personality represented in social media posts, on screen interviews and conversations about the situation has led a lot of followers to reconsider how they view the TV star of Chumlee's trial, as the prosecutor highlighted the case's seriousness by describing the armaments and managed chemicals that the police Chumlee found, was charged for having guns and illicit chemicals that presented a serious risk, according to legal experts, that he might be sentenced to up to 20 years behind bars. Despite Chumlee's the attorney claimed that he had no previous criminal history and lack of malicious intent damage, the situation is still quite. The trial grew more serious tension when plea talks got underway, with not just Chumlee's individual liberty on the line, as well as his future. Intense conversations about careers took place between the attorneys on both sides, considering all potential outcomes in spite of Chumlee's extensive and fruitful career in amusement. His reputation endured the equilibrium with the possibility that it be utterly destroyed if the career of convicted Chumlee has long been. The reality is entangled with Pawn Stars, a television program that enthralled millions of widely renowned for his warmth, and he gained popularity due to his sense of humor, although the truth about his public persona has truly let his followers down on a human level. And legal issues keep coming up. Chumlee is in a precarious situation. Crossroads at a critical juncture in his life as well as career. This is not merely a legal case. Fight serves as a clear reminder of how shaky public perception can be, and a reality that frequently lurks beyond the screen. Lee, a friend, is now evidence of how swiftly the careers and personal lives of TV celebrities can alter, demonstrating that fame can't always conceal the darker elements of their lives. The prospects for Chumlee and the remaining Pawn Stars unsure, as the public continues to wait to determine whether he can surmount this obstacle and put his life back together. On the trial's last day, there were a lot of admirers in the courtroom. carrying signs endorsing Chumlee. Others donned shirts with the Pawn Stars emblem. It was a tense and vibrant mood, demonstrating the strong public interest. Judge Michael Davidson in the matter oversaw the sentencing process, and as at the defendant's podium, Chumlee stood, getting ready to hear the ultimate decision. The room's air became heavy with anticipation of each sound, particularly the sound of the court clerk rustling papers was heightened by the oppressive quiet. Chumlee made a plea agreement with the prosecution, entering a guilty plea to one firearms-related charge and a lesser accusation of having a controlled chemicals, but other accusations were. Judge Davidson dropped the case after considering the mitigating elements in addition to the concerning conduct described in the case file. Even though Chumlee recognized the judge emphasized the gravity of the guilt of owning firearms that are not registered and restricted substances that presented a substantial risk to the community. Chumlee was given a 3-year term by the judge. Probation under stringent guidelines includes therapy under careful observation, routine drug examinations, and 200 hours of community service. In addition to, the judge mandated the forfeiture of all objects confiscated throughout the inquiry. But what startled the courtroom was the stringent requirement pertaining to Chumlee's punishment in the event that he broke any. His probationary conditions would be convicted right away to 3 years in jail without the potential for put the judge through a harsh retrial. Gave the final decision, Mr. Russell, I'm giving you a 3-year strict probation, and any infraction will lead to immediately imprisoned for 3 years. Chumlee was struck by a moment like a powerful punch, a huge shock after months of unrest and the imminent danger. Describing an extended period of incarceration as the judge went on to recite the conditions of Chumlee's repressed feelings in the sentence. Suddenly, he was overcome with sweat. His voice raised, and a bead appeared on his forehead. It drowned and was scarcely audible in the distance. Out of the frantic, racing thoughts via his Lee, a mind buddy, abruptly stumbled and collapsed in the courtroom there. His attorney hurried over to try to soothe him, but it was already too late. A reality TV personality who used to be funny and jovial disposition now lay standing still in front of all the security. Staff stepped in right away as the sound of his panting flooded in a tense quiet. Medical staff were phoned in right away. One hurried to bring water as someone else cleaned the route to ensure that room photographers took pictures. Chumlee's dramatic scene and pictures. Unconscious in court, which was swiftly made headlines in the entertainment industry. Lee, a friend of News Chumlee's who once laughed endlessly with millions of now, spectators watch as his friend confronts the grave repercussions of previous acts. The life and career of Chumlee are at a crucial intersection with a lot of unanswered concerns looming over his future, and compared to Pawn Stars, this circumstance is not only a legal surprise but also a severe reminder of the sharp difference between reality TV stars' public identities and the intricacies of their individual lives. The court case of Austin Chumlee Russell hit the court's breaking point as he was charged with major offenses that resulted in he collapsed dramatically at the seat. Justice was abundant in the courtroom. Suspense as the verdict was delivered following a guilty plea and was given a 3-year strict Chumlee's probationary period ended abruptly. Instantly passing out, leaving everyone. In the courtroom, the startling scene immediately garnered media attention. Amusement. Soon following the tragedy, fans and Chumlee's co-workers were understandably worried about Rick Harrison, his lifelong a friend and co-worker were observed going there. Him in the days after the incident on Hash and other social media hashtags. Gadden Pawn and Chumlee Guy swiftly spread, resulting in a flood of backing for Chumlee after 3 days. Despite the fact that Chumlee's in a video, a familiar smile reappeared. Declaration made at his residence in the video, he candidly discussed the matter. Acknowledging his prior errors and demonstrating to the world a man's willingness to his personal difficulties. Accepting the repercussions of my behavior is something that really frightens me, Chumlee shared in the video that I must create better options, and I am aware that the physician was correct. These sincere admissions indicated a notable change in Chumlee's public. He was no longer the easygoing or gullible character that viewers have seen on TV, but a mature man learning to face his errors and look for atonement. Chumlee acknowledged that notoriety and the life of a well-known person had influenced his decision-making, causing him to make errors that might cost him. Moreover, Chumlee revealed that he is now concentrating on getting better and making the show's better life decisions. Have been my family for a long time, and one day I hope to honor them, he remarked as no formal announcement has been made about his visit back to Pawn Stars there. Show that the History Channel keeping the door open for him, perhaps. Following his recuperation, friend Lee is now centered on fulfilling the court's specifications and working on authentic initiatives dedicated to restoring his existence. This shift is not just a turning point moment in Chumlee's professional life, but also a new chance for him. His narrative has become a source of inspiration, reminding us that although being famous doesn't mean making mistakes, what matters is how we get back up after falling. Genuinely characterizes us. If Chumlee returns, it will be the outcome of an adventure brimming with resolve, genuineness, and the steadfast backing of his supporters. Thus, we have explored the intense happenings around the courtroom in Chumlee, the moment he passed out upon hearing. In his words, this tale has been both startling and enlightening, providing an insight into the difficulties that celebrities encounter outside of the limelight. Chumlee has experienced numerous transformations in his path. His story hasn't always been easy. Reminds us that celebrity doesn't protect anyone from the dangers of life. Difficulties. If you came upon this video fascinating, remember to like and share, and become a channel subscriber so you don't miss any more motivational tales. Post your opinions in the comments section and don't forget to press the notification button to view our most recent videos. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the following one. Similar videos.